First of all,
Who are you?
who are you? Number one. Number two.
We'll gladly, but there's this button called unsubscribe.
Yeah, that. Welcome, everybody.
Yes. Welcome back.
Welcome back to Sophie and Gabrielle Have Coffee this time.
Yes.
Yes, cheers to that. Thank you for making me a nice coffee.
Oh, you're so welcome. So, we have officially released episode 1 of Africa Rising.
We have, and there's an official trailer. So yeah, episode 1 was released in mid-June. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on our YouTube channel, just like everything else. That was it was a cool release because we got to feature African Orphan Educational Foundation, local to here in the Palm Beaches. They work closely with 2J Ministries.
Okay.
Both of them for the same cause. They both support vulnerable children who need an education. And yeah, we got to actually visit the schools that they supported over in Uganda. And we got to meet some of the teachers that work at the schools that they support. We got to meet some of the students who have benefited from getting an education through their efforts. And so yeah, it's all there on the episode, along with a little bit of East African fashion for a dash of glamour in there.
I love that.
Yeah. The fashion designer who we interviewed in that episode, she dressed me for the full like first half of the entire series. So we got a chance to learn about her. She's got a very forward-thinking mind as far as, once she gets her name and her brand to a certain point, paying it forward to women, specifically in her community. Mm-hmm. So, anyway, if you haven't heard of The American Dream, Africa Rising, the whole point was to feature people who are paying it forward in their communities, if they've been given a chance and had a struggle in their past life, or really there was an underlying theme of the importance of education throughout the whole thing. So yeah, I feel like episode 1 was a good start to the series.
It was a great start to the series. And look, even in the beginning of this episode, you've already received so many compliments on the fashion piece,
yeah,
which leads us into Taste of Africa, because you ended up, and we'll explain what Taste of Africa is, but you end up wearing another designer's dress.
Yeah.
And just the feedback, these designers are amazing.
I know. That was actually when I was there in Africa, wearing both KSY Fashion Designs and Joe Kisaka Fashion House Designs. I was just getting such a huge reaction. Number one, I think everybody who was local was excited to see a Western woman kind of embrace the African fashion.
Right.
But even those who were just tourists and travelers, you name it, from where, Australia, New Zealand, all over Europe, wherever they were from, and they were there, whether it was to, volunteer or to just be a tourist. Gosh, they were all like, where did you get that?
Yeah.
Where did you get that dress? Where did you find that, outfit? Where did you find that? So yeah, that was just a really fun part of the entire trip, was that kind of reaction. And everything was just super positive. So
yeah,
sometimes you put on some of these crazy prints and you go, what am I doing? And then you realize,
I think it was very complimentary to the culture, especially these designs that were, sourced for you. They did a great job.
Yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, watch episode 1 and the official trailer. It gives you a little bit of a taste of the entire series that to come on our YouTube channel. That's the easiest place to find it. And subscribe to it if you'd like to be notified when more episodes are uploaded. Yeah.
And our YouTube channel is
Beyond the Palms.
Right here.
With Sophie and Gabrielle. Beyond the Palms, hence the sign.
The sign. So, all right. Well, then what about Taste of Africa, though?
Okay. So, first of all, I kind of want to get your experience of that, because I've been doing all this Africa stuff. I've been producing. I've been, really closely working with all of these locals in Africa. I've been immersed in it. Mm-hmm. You not so much. You've been holding down the fort here. And then all of a sudden I'm like, you're coming to this Taste of Africa event. Mm-hmm. Didn't really give you a chance to say no, not that you were going to anyway. But what was your first impression? What was your takeaway from that experience?
Kathy, she did Kathy's the president? What is she?
Okay, so
we got to.
Yeah, let's take a step back. Let's take a step back. So first of all, Kathy Cray, she is the founder of African Orphan Educational Foundation, whom I teamed up with for the Africa Rising series. If you didn't watch episode 1 of our little podcast, little episode thing here that we do, unfortunately, Kathy and her team didn't make it to Africa due to the war in Middle East. But she was a conjugal part of helping me build the relationships I needed over there, and really guiding me through the production process. So she does every single year. She's got a few events that fundraise to help her do what she does best, which is provide education to children who can't afford one otherwise. Orphans specifically, vulnerable children specifically. And so this year's Taste of Africa was at the Sandhill Crane Golf Club in Palm Beach Gardens.
Beautiful location.
Such a cool location. Not only are their views nice, but she's bringing in African food. That's what you're eating. You can hear the African drums in the background. She's got an African drum band. And the community comes together all for the purpose of, everybody has this shared sort of love, desire, and passion to help children who don't have hope, give them hope.
Right.
And so that was my takeaway from it, was just the amount of people in one room who care about African children. For us is such a rarity because we're all the way over here in the Palm Beaches, right? So like how many people are really caring, noticing, hearing, or, doing anything on a track for African children? There's plenty of children here who need help, right? So a lot of people are going to stay local. But anyway, so that's the background on that. What was your take from it, never stepping into something like that before?
Yeah, I like the fact that she was able to bring the culture somewhat, as most as she could to that room. It was neat to have, she had the drummer, she had all of the food, different vendors. And then obviously there were keynote speakers, which you were one. But I liked how, for someone that, didn't know very much about the organization and just its mission. I mean, I understood it, but I just like how she told a story there.
Yeah.
So, and it was a great experience. It was, it was very well done.
Yeah, and there's some great members of the community who are supporting her cause. Ashley Walters was there. You might recognize that name back in the day from WPTV. She's a local artist as well. She's got her own company now, and she created a work of art for auction at Taste of Africa. Yeah, she painted.
Yeah.
With a really cool story behind it. She painted a water pitcher with the whole metaphor.
That was the whole storytelling, though, and just the way that, this was kind of, the culture was brought to you a little bit.
Yeah, right.
So I thought it was neat, the storytelling behind, why she decided to paint that one photo or that one picture. So,
which, let me explain for the viewers. So she did a water pitcher because the significance of not being able to have clean water in a lot of these villages that these orphans are coming from, a lot of times that is the reason why they're not going to school, is because they have to go and fetch water. They need to literally sometimes walk 2.5 hours each way to be able to carry a couple of buckets of water back, to be able to drink, wash clothes, cook with. So, that alone is such a crazy thing about day-to-day life in Africa that people don't realize, and for Ashley to touch on it with her art.
It was symbolic, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, beautiful evening, but you were a keynote speaker.
I was.
Which was exciting.
Which was fun because I also got to share a little bit of a clip of some of the footage we filmed while we were out there, and on things that weren't quite that haven't been released yet.
Well, and hold on. And also, when you got on stage, you had some audio trouble, which would have rattled anybody. I would have crawled off the stage and cried. And you literally just worked through it like the just trooper that you are, but you're also so professional. And actually, people had mentioned that. I don't know if you're remembering that part. They're like, I cannot. Yeah,
I go up there, I black out.
Yeah, you black out. But I mean, I would have been like, all right, I'm done. I'm not talking. You just worked through it all. You were able to share, your story. You're able to speak to it. But it was just, there was that one piece where we were waiting and you just took the mic and ran with it.
All right, well, let me tell you about my experience in Africa.
That's crazy.
So that was a cool event, and we look forward to Kathy's next event. She's got a few. She's got a breakfast on the Nile, and if you're interested in African Orphan Educational Foundation, you can find them. They do have a nice website with all of their events and all of their community opportunities. So
Yeah. And I mean, that's initially what started this whole Africa Rising series. So.
was to support her, Kathy, and African Orphan Educational Foundation. And kids need to go to school. Kids in Africa want to go to school.
Right.
That's the important thing. And for them to not be able to is, we'd like to change that.
Yeah.
So anyway, so that is the update on what's going on with Africa and Sophie and Gabrielle.
All right. Well, that's the media side to us.
Yeah.
We have our real estate side to us.
Yeah.
Which this month, we had a very lovely, lovely couple that we had their listing. And but Sophie, I'll let you take it away with that piece because you actually met them 9 years ago.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I feel like, this is like an opportunity to touch on the fact that like, if you're out there thinking you want to get into real estate and you're just going to open a door and make a commission,
there's no quick sale.
There's no quick sale. And this is the story that we're about to share with you is not the exception to the norm. It is the norm. But yeah, I met her 9 years ago as a new agent. I was hosting an open house.
I was going to say it must have been an open house in her neighborhood. She just roll in. Right.
And, thanks to Echo Fine Properties, they provide us lots of beautiful marketing material. So I had it all displayed, all proud. And I met her at that one open house. She signed in on that on that little sign-in sheet. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Consenting for us to follow up with her.
Yep. She wanted us to keep her updated. Yep. She wanted us to keep her updated on the neighborhood because she was starting to, keep up with the value of her own home. She and her husband were, I guess, future thinking about selling, but not enough that she wanted to really talk to me.
No, it was a soft inquiry, if you will. She just wanted to stay updated on the market, which we get all the time. But what I love about this is that you just never know, people's circumstances change, and maybe it wasn't going to be 9 years, maybe it was going to be before that. But the point is that you start the relationship and you nurture it. And honestly, never were you thinking, I'm going to sell her home immediately.
Well, no, actually, I wondered if I ever was because for 9 years.
For 9 years, you went on just thinking, well, it's just someone that I reach out to, I talk to.
I carry this whole one-sided relationship with. I'm sending her these updates that she had asked for regularly, but also I'm checking in, do you need anything else? Is there anything I can offer you? You have no idea. And honestly, at one point, I was pretty sure that she had blocked me. Yeah. Because, when you call...
They bouncing back?
Well, it was the phone because, it goes straight to voicemail every single... And I was like, I'm pretty sure I've been blocked. But I kept leaving those.
Still staying in contact, though. It's constant contact.
Yeah. And then honestly, by the time they called us and said, we're ready to list, and we sat down and we had that conversation... and I said, hey, I think we've been in touch for about 9 years now. She was like, oh yeah, 9 years ago I was impressed. And so here we are. And then, it kind of worked out perfectly because by the time we get a chance to sell it and you take off with the listing doing your thing, they were ready to go. Like they knew their values because I guess they had been paying attention all that time.
From all the information that was being sent to them, through you and your nurturing.
Yeah.
But, it was interesting, though, in meeting with them because they're the type of sellers that, they want to sell and get the most for their money, but they don't want to sell too high because they want to sell. So we encourage them after pulling all the comps and walking the home and just seeing what a well-maintained home it was to actually go a little bit higher.
Yes.
And in this market, it's a gamble, but we knew with that home, we knew just how impeccably maintained that home was.
They had all the bells and whistles.
27 years of living there.
Yeah, 27 years. They had all impact windows and doors. They had new roof. The interior had been updated, renovated.
Maintained. You could tell when you walked in, pride of ownership. So we felt confident that pricing it a little, tadly higher than what's been closing. We felt pretty sure that we were going to get it sold.
Yeah.
And the reality that the market spoke to us. Within a week, we knew this is going to go very quickly.
Yeah, you had collected how many offers by the time we presented the highest and best?
We were in a multiple offer situation, which essentially got them full price a close date of what they wanted because they were purchasing another home and they had their timeline to move on after 27 years. So it gave them a lot of flexibility in what they wanted, you know, since they had all these offers to choose from.
Right.
And their buyer was a great fit for them too, just the strength of the fact, you know, of his offer being financing. He was ready to go. He'd been looking for some time. So it worked out great. But yeah, less than 2 weeks on the market, full price, short inspection.
After 9 years of prospecting.
I mean, so the fun part is obviously this, you know, quick sale, but yeah, 9 years was not a quick sale.
No, that's exactly it. And so that's when people say, oh, well, you know, you just opened the door for about a week or so.
Oh, it's
and
easy money.
Easy
money.
Yeah, it's easy. Like, what do you even do? Well, I spent 9 years keeping you
Working
updated.
for free.
Yes.
Working for free.
Working for free, keeping you updated, remembering to stay in touch, remembering to, yes, all the things. So that's the reality of it. If you're trying to get into real estate, that is what all of your sales are more likely to look like.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you are in real estate, we want to know your stories too.
Yeah, I mean, tell your story. Actually put it in the comments. What is the longest you've ever had to stay in touch with someone before they finally called you to interview you for a listing? I would like to see that.
I know.
Because some of those, there's some OGs out there that probably have 25, 30 years under their belt and can probably beat my 9-year one-sided relationship.
So, yeah.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, that was a good story at the end.
It was a very good story.
Yeah.
So another good story is that you, and I have as well, been making cold calls in Jupiter Farms.
Wait, cold calls. Everybody's like, oh,
I hate them. I'm not
worst.
going to lie. I hate them. I have to like literally like hype myself up to do it. You don't mind it as much. Like I have to like sit in front of the computer and be like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And you just never know what the other person on the other line, you know, how they're going to react.
Yeah.
You're really good about it. Tell your story.
Well, I
of
mean,
how
I
you do it.
think, well, I don't even know that I'm really, there's two types of people. There are people that absolutely hate cold calls, doing them. And then there are people who will tolerate doing it, but there's nobody who likes doing them.
I'm the person that hates it and will tolerate it. I'm literally like, you know, like I said, I got to hype myself up. But I've learned like when I do make calls, I have to kind of soften the other person on the line. I don't go into, hey, I'm Gabrielle, realtor. I try to, you know, have a little bit of humor with them and see if I can even get them to speak with me.
Yeah.
If they've not already hung up on me.
Right.
You
Which
know?
normally they have.
Yeah, or they're going to
giant
scream.
F off and, you know.
Or they just won't answer. And I mean, I don't blame them. I don't answer a lot of my calls
No,
now
I mean,
because they're robocalls.
Nobody likes to be on the recipient side of that. And I'm sure anybody who's watching this going, oh God, realtors cold call. Everybody's been hit up by a realtor, usually with some sort of a buyer who wants to buy your house, normally a fake buyer. It's an opportunity to get their foot in the door. They're trying to, at least. But that's not our situation. Our situation is we have to make our calls because we have to take
find
care of our
properties for our clients.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So recently the calls that I've been making, and I get a lot of confusion, I feel like, and I know you do too, because we're making the same calls on the other end of the line, because number one, we have a few reasons why we're calling. Number one, we have an off-market property for sale. And this is specifically in Jupiter Farms, right? So this scenario we're calling in Jupiter Farms. We have an off-market property, 4.5 acres, that we told the seller we were going to reach out on her behalf and let the world know that it exists because she's not quite ready to hit the full-on market yet. So she's signed an agreement with us. We're going to make those. We can't have her sign an agreement and then not make those calls. So we have to make those calls. But then on the other line, when people do actually answer the phone, they're like, wait, why are you calling me? Because they think I'm calling with the fake buyer line.
Right. No, we're actually calling because we have a property that nobody knows about, and that's why we're going ahead and making these calls. And maybe you know somebody that could be potentially interested in this property.
That's exactly it.
Right.
And if not, right, here's the information about it. What's your initial feedback on that?
Right.
Right? You'd be surprised at how many people, oh, that's way too high for what that is. Or, well, you know, or where is it located? Oh, all the way on that. Oh, I don't like that. You know, so it's helpful in some way.
Definitely to get the feedback for sure.
The feedback. And then, you know, we have another on-market property. Again, sure, anybody who's on the market to purchase a home can see it. It is on Zillow, it's on Realtor, it's on all the things.
Yep.
We've been marketing the heck out of it. We're just not getting the showings. So if we can't get people in the door to provide us feedback on the home, the property, and the price, well then what else are we going to do? We have to call the neighborhood. Let's see if anyone else is willing to take a quick look at this listing and say, here's my initial thought, and get some sort of feedback on it.
Right.
You know? And then finally we do actually have a flipping buyer.
And then there's the truth.
And then there's the truth.
Well, the fact that we're constantly selling in the farms, you live in Jupiter Farms. Yes, we have clientele. We have a database of potential buyers that they are looking for a specific property or they haven't found the property that they want. So we actually do have buyers, and we can narrow it down.
There's a million listings on the list that you can find. Why are you calling me? The reason is because we've gone and checked all those listings out. None of them work. Oh, well, it sounds you might have a picky buyer. No. We've got a lot of sellers who are a little bit confused about the value of their property, and therefore my buyer is not able to purchase them because they won't get real.
Right. Well, and it's funny. I do feel like buyers have gotten pickier, but for the reason in which you're saying, because the property values in their mind, it's different. Like there's that disconnect. So yeah, buyers have gotten pickier, which goes back to our wandering trail, sold immediately. A home has to be, well-maintained, priced accordingly, and it goes fast. But if we have these sellers, a lot of the times that want to test the market, it's
well, see, if our buyer is ready to buy, right? Pre-approval in hand, ready to make offers, but the seller is not yet ready to hear.
That's just it. They're not ready.
They're not ready to hear
what the market is going.
What the value of their property is. Well, then unfortunately the marriage never happens. Timing is everything.
It is 100%.
There has to be a meeting of the minds.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm hunting for our buyer. You're hunting for our buyer, because what we're looking for is not a needle in the haystack. We're just looking for the seller who's realistic, maybe interested, maybe likes the idea of selling off market and maybe saving a little bit of payout in commission. That's a win for everyone. So yeah, you're going to get a lot of phone calls from agents. Doesn't matter what neighborhood you live in, what state you live in. Most of those phone calls are going to be about a fake buyer.
It is potentially, you will get the phone calls of a fake buyer. It's their foot in the door. But with us, we have specifics, and we're narrowing it down.
So the short of it is, if we bother you in Jupiter Farms, don't be mad at us. We're just trying to do our job.
Be nice to us.
And also, we've got properties to share with you. Like, can you listen for a second, just so we feel like we did our job? That would be great.
Yes. Because I'm over here trying to get myself all excited about making these calls, so I don't want to get anybody yelling at me.
I know. We will get people yelling at us.
And
that's all right. It's just part of it.
Well, actually, that leads into our next little topic.
Oh.
Rude people. I guess, or trolls.
Wait, first I want to say, how lucky are we that we have enough of a following that people are going out of their way to negatively troll us on social media.
It's true.
It's a good problem to have.
Well, we're putting out a lot of content, and there are those people that just they want to troll you. It's fun for them.
Okay, so before we get into this and share with you, this is almost like a version of if you've ever seen Jimmy Kimmel's mean tweets, where celebrities will read their comments, negative comments about them. They'll read them out loud and then they'll react to them. It's really funny. So Gabrielle and I, we get our own version of mean tweets on Insta, and
we'll start sharing them with you. But don't make that be an encouragement to troll us online.
No, honestly, we went ahead and deleted all the comments because we don't condone bullying on our pages. But if you look at, we're gonna have our editor Avery pop up the Instagram handle.
It has to be seen.
Just look at the Instagram handle and sound it out phonetically. And that will already tell you that this person took the time to create a profile for the sole purpose of trolling us.
And no photo.
No photo. A fake name probably, or a name that we've certainly never heard of. All right, why don't you read some of the comments that were on there?
Okay. All right, so at this point, we've had our social media gal pull this up so y'all can see. Okay, so one of them, and this was actually when you were trying to fundraise for a school in Africa,
Yeah.
because the school, they're literally about to lose the school.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean,
Oh, yeah. That was the post where I just quickly, in my backyard.
yeah, you went in your backyard and you got to it. So the comment reads, maybe don't skip the makeup next time.
Wait, first of all, I get eyelash extensions and Botox so that makeup will be optional.
But I mean, think about the material in which you're speaking to. I mean, why do you have to get all glammed up for this? You hopped on it real quickly. So that was one of them. So rude.
Rude.
Yeah. Okay. So then another one on just one of our real estate posts, loser.
That's it. Just the big L.
Just loser. And then
I don't know. I feel like someone who would spend the time to create an Instagram handle to troll people is probably a bigger loser, but whatever.
loser. Okay. And then now I think at this point I had blocked him and only one more came through, but it said, stop sending your email to me, which we looked him up and we actually don't have his email.
Well, because that was probably a fake name. So whoever it is, first of all,
who are you?
Who are you? Number one. Number two.
We'll gladly, but there's this button called unsubscribe
that.
in the email that you can literally click on. Yeah. You don't have to tell us how much you hate us.
It comes in every email. Usually you can scroll all the way to the bottom to find it. Yeah. And also understand too that we're not the ones sending this out. Our brokerage has been collecting people's information for 25 years at every single open house, every single website inquiry, social media,
Sometimes you sign up for it on your own.
Sometimes, and you act like you don't, but you did.
But you
clicked on something. You clicked on something. Don't act like we're the crazy ones because we followed up with you. But yeah, I mean, so...
Let us help you.
Unsubscribe.
Yeah, tell us who you are, or we can unsubscribe you. Anyway,
yeah.
So yeah, kind of funny.
I feel like there was a few other ones that were Then we blocked them, and then we kept.
Yeah, we blocked them.
Yeah.
So
whoever you are, though, thank you for the great content for this conversation. This was fun to go through.
But we prefer the nice ones, and we'll share with some nice ones in the future. We get a lot of great feedback as well. So
yeah. So if you're watching this podcast and you've ever been trolled by social media, if someone's ever crapped on you,
put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments, but also keep your head up and know that it's a good problem to have and it means you're getting somewhere. That's it.